Welcome to your second term in the Coaching Master's degree here at Georgia Southern. My name is Dr. Patterson. I'm going to be working with you over the next few weeks in KIN 7433, Prevention and Recognition and Care of Athletic Injuries. I'm going to make this video so that way you can have an idea of what's going to go on during the course orientation and within the course. First thing you're going to want to do is come down here to the course orientation, to the start here, and then we'll work our way through this list, and we'll start with the introduction. And this gives you just a broad area overview of the class itself and what you're going to be working with, and so you can take a look at what we'll be doing, but we'll be doing a lot of discussion, and we will be learning a little bit of the techniques and some of the things that will come into play as you work as a coach in regards to healthcare of your athletes. Next page, just a welcome from me. You can learn a little bit about me and all. I've been in Georgia Southern now. This is going on my 8th year, and my family and I love it in the area. And you can read a little bit more about me. These are the learning expectations for the course and the objectives. And so this is just for the course orientation itself. And so these are the things we're going to go over in the next couple minutes. And so look at the syllabus and the schedule, the course structure and how those work, as well as communication rules and some of the technology requirements. And then this is our task list. And so what I've done is kind of tailored this to what you're going to see on each of the modules as you go forward. Each of the modules open up a week prior. And so you'll see this when you start the class itself, but kind of had it tailored just specifically and pretty much symmetrically with everything else that we're doing with the class. So here's our syllabus. Office hours do by appointment only if you are in the area, but I always try to be accessible by email. I usually respond quicker than 24 hours, but please give me about 24 hours notice to respond to you. There are sometimes on the weekends that I may not be available that much, but I will always do that within 36 hours, and then I'll try to get your grades for each of the assignments for the discussions within 48 hours. And assignment grades, because of how they're tailored, this may be a little bit longer, especially the midterm that you're going to be doing with the video that we'll talk about later. Sessions begin on June 24th, 2019, and they end on July 24th, 2019. There is a holiday in the class, but since we don't meet face-to-face, but I hope you have a great July 4th. The final day to drop this is important too, is to be dropped by the July 6th, so that you don't have an academic penalty. And then you'll see the course description. Our general learning goals of the course, I've taken this out of our accreditation guidelines for the coaching major itself. These are the things that we're going to be working on during the course of the semester. And so this gives you an idea of some of the things that we will talk about, discuss, some of the things that you will read in your textbook, as well as some assignments that we will be doing. So no prerequisite for the course, as long as you have a kind of an understanding of the human body, which at this level you probably all do, and so that would be the only prerequisite. Required textbooks is Prentice's Essentials of Athletic Injury Management. This I think is a great text to have as a coach. They have it in electronic version as well. Now, it is the 10th edition is the book that we are using, but I do know that the 9th edition has pretty much the same thing, so sometimes you can get that a little bit cheaper online. This is just one of those tools that I would definitely recommend that you have in your office. Because you never know when you may be in a situation where you don't have access to an athletic trainer, or just kind of want to get a little better understanding about athletic injury. The second part of the requirement is the sport first aid certification. We do this to add another certification to your resume as you leave the program. and we require the students to do this. And so you can do this either by ebook for $40 or for a hard copy of $50, and that includes the test and the course itself. You will be doing these modules at the same time that you're doing our class. The Sport First Aid certification is a pretty quick content, and I have it open the first day of the class that you can go in and you can sign up to do that, and you can finish that whenever you want. So it's unlike our regular modules for the class, but this is at your pace, as long as you're able to finish it before the end of the semester. So course structure, and this is really important, contains learning modules, and each of the modules are very specific. I do not open the entire course for the semester. I know that that sometimes is an issue with some students, but I do it week by week. You cannot work ahead. You cannot work behind. You have to do that week and then move on from there. We are together for 5 weeks, and it's one of those things that I require that we go on task in a module together and work together to do that. And I think you get the most out of it, your discussions and your assignments, when we do that, as opposed to racing ahead. So you have to be very disciplined, as you know, of working online. It's very different than a face-to-face course. And so there are lots of assignments, there's lots of reading, and because this is a 5-week course, there's a little bit more expectation given to you guys during this time. So please make sure to read through ahead. So how I conduct the class is each week you'll be going over a chapter, maybe a couple more, and then you have an understanding of what sports medicine is. And then you'll complete an online quiz after you do the reading and going over the lecture notes online. And then you'll have discussions. And so you'll just post a discussion board, and then you'll have a couple days to respond to at least 2 other students in the course. And then there is a couple other assignments that we will talk about too. So like I said, participation expectations, you have to communicate via your discussion boards each week, and you have to respond to at least 2 student posts in the discussion board as well. So we'll see the course schedule in a couple minutes and go over that as well. Netiquette, this is just something that's standard as far as network etiquette working online. I do not accept late work, so please make sure that you do not have any issues late. You need to plan ahead. So if you are traveling, if you have a recruiting visit, if you are going out of the country, you need to find a way to get online. There should be no excuse. You're in an online class. You need to make sure that you have Wi-Fi capabilities. So I need to know not after a due date or due time, but before, if there's any issues that come up. But I do not accept late work. We'll have 4 discussions. Those are with 25% of your grade. Your quizzes are another 25. Your certification that you will do is worth 10. Your midterm assignment is worth 20, and your final project is worth 20. And so here's the grading distribution and how that goes. We will grade your discussions by content, and I use Rubric to do that. And you can see that on your Rubric pages. And then here is our Georgia Southern Disability, Academic Honesty, and Technical Support questions. So you can take a look at that as well. Here's our course schedule. So if you go down this week, we need you to introduce yourself by the 26th, which is Wednesday, by 11:59. And so that post will be here at the end of the section. And then Module 1 opens on 6/24. And then that will go until 6:30 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all assignments. Your quiz is due by that time, and then discussion posts, you need to post to the discussion board by Thursday at 11:59 each week, and then respond to 2 other students by that Sunday night. And then you can see how it goes through along those as well. We have a midterm project which is going to be on July 14th, and that will be due during Module 3 week. and then your final project is due on Wednesday, 7/24. And so all assignments, your certification proof is due that night as well. So this page outlines some of the communication protocols for the class. Please don't contact me during using the university email. Just go through this folio page. It just makes things a little bit easier in response, because I do have 2 sections of this class. I don't know where that student is coming from. So please just respond and email me through the folio course. You can ask me all kinds of questions through there. If you have emergencies, you can also email or use my phone number in the syllabus as well. Technology requirements, and so as far as you've already went through the first term as well, so you shouldn't have any issues with this, but please take a look at the technology requirements in regards to it, because we will be utilizing this a lot. We are doing a video submission, and that video submission will be done through the folio page, and so you'll need to make sure that you have video capabilities as well. Okay, introduction instructions, and so this will be pretty much close to the end of this section. I want you to introduce yourselves to your peers in class. I know that you've kind of have done a class together or two, but I haven't, and so these are some of the questions that I would ask you to answer. And then post this to the discussion board, and it gives us a chance to get to know you. And then this is where you would post and start a new thread. And this is where you're going to start the discussion introductions. As things come up, I will be popping in and out of the discussion boards and maybe leaving a comment or two. I really look forward to working with you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful semester.